With all of the hype surrounding the upcoming .12 patch and all of the items on the list of items that we could expect to see, the most anticipated is that of the P90 and really the FN57, aside of course from the hideout. With this video, I wanted to dig into the history of the 5.7, the various ammo types, and how it fares in the real world versus how I perceive it to be handled in the world of Tarkov. Before I get into that, I just want to quickly say thank you for giving me a moment of your time. I am overjoyed that you guys are here with me today, and hopefully you find this content valuable. So first, the history. Named after the city of Herstal, Belgium, Fabrique Nationale Herstal, or FN Herstal, established in 1889, is the largest exporter of military small arms in Europe. Famous for the FAL, FNC, F2000, P90, and SCAR rifles, their holding company also spans across the globe, owning such arms manufacturing brands as Browning and Winchester, famous for the M249 LMG, M16 assault rifle, and M2 Browning heavy machine gun, among others. The FN57 is a 5.7 by 28 millimeter small caliber high velocity round created from scratch by FN Herstal in response to a NATO request for replacement of the 9 by 19 millimeter Parabellum cartridge, specifically for longer effective range and the ability to penetrate body armor. This cartridge subsequently ended up being pitted against the HK MP7 and its 4.6 by 30 millimeter cartridge and was voted superior in performance. However, the results were met with an overwhelming amount of scrutiny from the German delegation, of course. Today, the 5.7 is widely regarded as a very effective small caliber round and is used as a military service round in over 40 nations throughout the world, including that of the U.S. Secret Service and other U.S. law enforcement agencies. And as of 2009, the NRA also added the 5.7 to its national police competition standards, allowing law enforcement agencies to compete using the 5.7 28mm firearms. For civilian ammo types, the most common is the SS-197 SR, or sport round, which has an effective range of approximately 150 meters and travels at 590 meters per second. For military use, the most widely celebrated round has historically been the SS-190, which is an armor-penetrating round with a black steel penetrator tip and full metal jacket. This is for sale directly by FN and is restricted to civilian customers, ideally for military use only. A tracer variant of this, the L-191, is also regarded as a penetrating round with the exact same ballistic properties as that of the SS-190. In addition to the rounds that FN produces themselves, there are also other third-party manufacturers that produce additional ammo types, specifically that of Elite Ammunition and VBR Belgium. The most notable of both of these is the T6B from Elite Ammunition, which is anodized black turned solid copper, and the Controlled Fragmentation Round, or CF round, from VBR Belgium. For those of you that have been following along with Tarkov's developments, we recently got upgraded AP 6.39mm rounds for our 9x19 weaponry. These AP 6.3 rounds are produced by the Real World VBR Belgium. The SS-190 and L-191 rounds are capable of penetrating NIJ Level 3A or GOST Level 3 soft armor, rated to protect against 9mm FMJ and 44 Magnums, with almost no difficulty. But when tested against AR-500 or Level 3 plus steel plate, it falls short, barely even providing a dimple. But here, in relation to body armor levels, Tarkov uses the GOST standard, so from here on we'll make that comparison. In other ballistic testings, the T6B seems to be able to reliably penetrate light steel, maybe GOST Level 5, but again falls short against the thicker stuff. So GOST Level 5 to 6 probably won't see that kind of penetration ability. The controlled fragmentation rounds of VBR Belgium have no real discernible ballistic testing that I've been able to locate in my internet searches, but appear to be able to penetrate and then fragment into 2 or 3 larger fragments. I would place this penetration capability somewhere around that of the SS-190. However, I worry that Tarkov may end up in a bind with this round to fit in somewhere correctly, should they choose to use it. For Tarkov's impact, in order to place this, much like what we've already discussed earlier, I figured the best place to put this would be somewhere around that of HK's 4.6 by 30mm rounds. In true Tarkov fashion, I expect there to be some form of subsonic variant, as well as an FMJ variant, likely that of the SS-190 and L-191 tracers. Somewhere kind of in that middle ground, likely a purchase from mechanic level 2 to 3, with the AP variant being available from mechanic level 4, which I would expect to then be the T6B from Elite Ammunition. Regarding statistics, giving the P90's rate of fire of 900 RPM versus that of the MP7's rate of 950 RPM, I would expect to see the values of the rounds to be slightly higher than that of the MP7. For the bread and butter rounds that we'll end up using ideally toward endgame situations, assuming that the devs included the T6 AP rounds or something similar, and assuming that all of the stuff above is somewhere close to their way of thinking, this would lead me to believe that the endgame AP round would be somewhere around 38 to 40 damage, with 50 to 53 penetration, a fragmentation chance of 10%, and an armor damage value of 50 to 53. I would see the SS-190 and L-191 tracer rounds having extremely similar statistics, but Tarkov tends to favor the non-tracer variants of similar ammunition types, so I would place the FMJ and FMJ-T rounds at probably somewhere around 32 penetration, 40 damage, 40 armor damage, and 20% fragmentation. If they include the CF rounds from VBR Belgium, I could see those being somewhere around 30 penetration, 55 damage, 30 armor damage, and a 60% fragmentation chance. However, again, I will note that this could be an extremely touchy position for these types of rounds, because I could see them being very easily manipulated as an armor shredder and a damage radiator, kind of all in one, and could see them taking the lead over all other types of ammo as the preferred CQB round. So the devs would need to be kind of very, very careful with this manner of thinking. People also have a tendency to overlook muzzle velocity when it comes to each one of these rounds. It stands to note that muzzle velocity tends to play a large role with these types of rounds, especially when differentiating between that of the P90 bullpup and that of the 5.7 pistol. I would say that the 5.7 pistol will likely have a muzzle velocity reduction of somewhere around 20% versus that of the P90 standard barrel, and the extended barrel option, which has been touted in leaks from podcasts prior to this video, will likely add an extra 0.5 to maybe 2% in the round's velocity, which will create additional penetration and damage, albeit slightly. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Am I on target? Am I off? Is there a round that I missed that you think should or could be in the game? Where do you guys think the rounds will measure up? Also, let me know if you like this kind of content. If so, I'll try to do more of it. But anyway, thank you guys for all of your overwhelming support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.